welcome,
good.
mate. It should have been a lot more sooner, mate. So apologies about that. But how are you? Most importantly, mate. Are you good?
Oh, excellent, excellent. It's Friday, TGIF, so
Yes.
now
Happy days. Huh?
that's always a
Enjoy.
fun time. Always a
Yeah.
fun time.
Um. Um. Attack it in which way you want to possibly, mate. I'll just quickly bring up the comment really in terms of what you mentioned with that one. Can people just admit that the language barrier for Darwin Nunes that has come down somewhat as a factor despite people's pushback? Do you want to elaborate on that if you want that? Or
Yeah, what I wanted to do to elaborate on that was simply, first off, thank you for having me on your channel,
you're very welcome,
and
mate.
and I also wanted to say what I was saying by that comment is that last year I remember, Klopp came out and said, he's working on this language barrier thing, and we had a lot of different pushback with people saying, "Oh, that's ridiculous! Oh, that's terrible! That's a horrible excuse!" And da da da. And I'm saying to myself, have you ever been in another country where you don't speak the language?
Mm.
How do you feel when you have and then for someone to say, now I want you to perform at whatever occupation or whatever job you're doing, I want you to perform at top level too.
Yeah.
It's not an easy thing to accomplish, and once you start to get that language barrier under control, then you're able to communicate. How about that? Be able to feel at home a little bit more, and be able to communicate in the sense of saying, I want the ball here, I want it there, or this and that. I get we have Spanish speaking players on the team. I get that we have players that can communicate with him, but I just thought that sometimes people don't look at football from a human perspective.
Yeah, agreement. Yeah.
And
Spot on.
that's something that we have to sometimes keep a conception of. Once you notice now, I mean, I was surprised, but I saw a clip where he was in. They were playing. It's not called FIFA anymore. It's called
Yeah,
EA.
EFC. Yeah.
EAFC was what, yeah.
Yeah, whatever. Right. So and it was Ryan and Darwin on one team, and then they were facing against Maka and Dom on the other team. Yeah. Now, there's four people that aren't exactly all that aren't the strongest of English speaking people, but yet here they are playing FIFA, kind of interacting with a host that is an English speaker. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, yeah, there's a difference in him now. He's taking interviews now. He's all of a sudden doing and you can see the confidence and just the adaptability that's going on with him is something that people need to
I
really.
I totally get that, because my wife is Venezuelan. When she gets angry, I can't understand the word, and but she gives out to me in everything possible in Spanish, in Latino Spanish as well. So when she goes at me, and I'm just like, eventually I have to kind of calculate it in my head and understand it, and then come back to her. But it takes me a couple of hours. So we'll see. But I totally get that, man. It's you're spot on there with that. He did have a problem last season with the language barrier, misunderstandings, stuff like that. But I think he's putting in the effort throughout the summer, and I think he's really starting to learn.
Yeah, no, spot on comment, mate. The 12th man is right. Some people can't get a new language at all. How long was Bobby with us? And he could hardly speak English. That's a great. I was going to raise that, Alan. Yeah. It's probably one of them, mate. I think we've seen with certain players when they've done media press conferences, they've been in England for 5-6 years and they just don't do them, which is understandable, because if we went to another country and we weren't 100% confident. I think I seen an interview with Zidane this week saying that he was linked with the United job over the last couple of years, but he's not fully confident. And we all know how the English media are, or modern media in terms of any sport, really. You twist your words, and then hence why I think we've seen Jurgen Klopp do interviews in German, even in English press conferences anyway. But yeah, big up there, keep it level. Big up, mate. Hope you had a good Friday. Liverpool's trainees and administration speak fluent Portuguese, Spanish, German, Dutch. Pretty easy to get settled. Added to that, there's no adaptation program in place for every new player as well. And of course, adding to that, the 12th man, you've got to learn Scouse as well.
Yeah.
So that's even a bit more harder anyway for
I mean, that's no, he's right. Elliot's right when it comes to the club and stuff like that. That's great when you're at a Camp Nou situation. You can think, you can do all of that, but on the pitch it's a different story. Some of these things you'll just forget instantly, or no matter what you've learned, you'll forget. He's probably still having moments on the pitch where he's like, "Oh, what do I say?" Oh yeah. And then
Yeah.
and it still takes you because you're on the go all the time, and you're concentrating on what you're doing in your game of ball, and you forget all of this. Because I did pretty well in school, but if I find myself, in a classroom and I'm out of it for a bit and I'm in like an intense situation, I'm forgetting what the hell is going on in there. What's after, and then it kind of it's you'd have to be repeating it and repeating and repeat, and it's good that this season is kind of taking fruition, but last season it didn't work for him kind of at all with the language. He's a couple of times you see him looking towards the thing and he didn't know what he was doing, but I think that's changed this season.
Yeah,
it could be. If I can make just one quick point too, it could be also too. I mean, like one we saw, for instance, we saw Thiago giving him last minute instructions and talking to him that one time before he got to the game. That's something. And even Klopp was like, "What's going on?"
Yeah.
And it's because there's plenty of times when he said it that he couldn't understand exactly what he meant or what he was trying to say. We're also talking about a native German speaker speaking English, trying to now converse that into something that he's going to be able to understand as well. It's not easy. And, I know for myself, like I was making fun of myself because of my French pronunciations. My French teacher would have been going, pulling her hair out, hearing me say some of the things I was saying. But it also goes to the point where I used to be able to speak very, very little Japanese. And yet, it's something on the lines of where Endo, for instance, is now having the same things that Minamino had to go through, which is Minamino had to walk around with an interpreter. Endo, I heard his interview recently, and he's not the most fluent English speaker, but I mean, he speaks it enough that he can understand what you're saying and be able to answer you back. It makes a difference when you're trying to conduct and try to learn and grow with another player or another person in general, and trying to explain to them the system and all these different, different levels of it. It's very important.
Klopp is very similar in that though as well. He speaks a lot of broken English and certain times where he skips words and sentences and things and just gets to the point. And he tends to do that a lot in interviews. And Klopp he's a good speaker, but you could tell that when he's saying a couple of things that he is skipping a couple of words, getting to the point, and then you're kind of wondering. I mean, for the longest time he was still pronouncing W's as V's, wasn't he? If you remember that rightly. So and he's kind of stopped that now for a bit, but no, Klopp even still to today, he's got a bit of broken English. If you got that broken English talking to broken English with a heightened sense of Spanish, you've got a clash going on. But look, he's learning his role really well, Nunez, and he
didn't get him in trouble. Spider didn't get him in trouble too against I think the African when he's talking about the African Cup or something like that. He made a statement, and it was an understandable statement from my perspective because I understand that he's not exactly the most fluent English speaker.
Yeah.
But yet, he made a comment, and that comment was taken verbatim, and then it was one of those situations where you're just like,
I call that that's wokeness.
It's just typical media anyway. But we'll move on. Anyway, we'll move on. We've got a couple of topics anyway to speak about. Anyway, lads, give us a score prediction for Sunday. What are we going with? I'm going to go 4-0. Darwin hat-trick, hopefully. Kev, what are we saying?
Because it's tough. It's a weird stadium. If we score early, it'll be nice. But if we don't score early, I'm going to say 2-0 to Liverpool.
Liverpool 12 man. Are you going to go?
Yeah, I want to go 3-0, but I'm starting to lean towards the 2-0 because it's at their home, and I know that they don't want to get embarrassed. They do play hard. I've said it time and time again. I'm someone that always gives props to every team. If you're in the Premier League, you're a good team, period. I know that you might not be giving off the image of a good team like a Sheffield United currently, but all the same, I think every team has their day and can have their day. So
I'm hoping it's like what Panov and what Lucky says there. I really am, because that would just be the norm. We get on with it, we move again. But I don't know, Liverpool just don't. Teams just get up for the game when they're playing Liverpool, Liverpool tend to spank more of the bigger teams these days by a higher score than they do the smaller teams.
And you're open as well, lads. And we've seen this in the past when Liverpool have come up against the lesser opposition teams, smaller teams. And I think that if you're a Luton fan watching, or if you're a Luton fan going to ground or whatnot at the weekend, don't get disheartened, really. Twice. We beat a certain team down the motorway anyway, called Man United. What was it? A big scoreline in them.
6 months ago, not even.
Yeah, even Bournemouth game as well. Like, sometimes in football, teams can succumb to the pressure and collapse under that pressure. But I think this will do them very well in terms of coming up against Liverpool this weekend. These are the barometer games. Obviously, when you play City, us as well, it's that benchmark, really. It's only going to get a lot easier when you play the big boys anyway, and then the teams in and around them. They're only 1 point off as well. But lads, West Ham in the League Cup quarterfinals, happy in relation to that. I think we got quite lucky in consideration. A bit like Man City get a League Two team every single round, as we know.
Yeah.
I was at the Liverpool West Ham game, as you know, just a few weeks back, and West Ham were coming to Anfield at the time, being one of the most informed teams in the league at that point, and they were outstanding. Everybody was worried about West Ham. They were actually up there in the top 6 and doing good work. And I just thought we played them off the park when I was there that day. I know they got the diving ahead of Bowen, but that was them at their peak kind of playing at that moment. And, the Curtis Jones was phenomenal in that game. I remember that well. And, I just thought that, we got the penalty and with Salah and all of that, but this is a cup game as well, so it can be up and down. It really can. But I'm thinking, I would have expected more out of the league game than what I would the cup game from them. Yeah,
I'm just happy to go into the next rounds. Fundamentally, it's going to be a big game. I think all of us want to be seeing Liverpool win trophies. I know there's sections of our fan base that turn the nose up on this competition, and I have been on record over the last couple of years. I wanted Liverpool to go for the Premier League and the Champions League. Of course, they're the big two main prizes. But I think when the time does come, Liverpool 12th man, where Klopp is no longer at the football club, when he retires or whatnot or moves on, we've got to celebrate every trophy as much as we possibly can, because I want us to go all the way. I think you do, mate, as well. But are you happy with West Ham? Or would you
am happy with
Everton or another team?
I am happy with West Ham, considering what Antonio had to say last time and how, it kind of, who knows what he'll say this time around. Because I'm sure the question will be popped up again, how are your feelings about, the club and your last experience at Anfield. That should be enough of like a locker room headline. But I agree with you completely with the whole concept of like, I'm always about the Ferris Bueller concept. Like, life moves pretty fast. If you don't stop and look around, you might miss it, and that's what it is with this whole Klopp era, is that like, it doesn't feel like it's been now 8 years, but for it to be coming up on a decade of having this coach, having the blessing of having this coach as our coach, I'm enjoying every moment of it. I'm stressing and trying to make sure people understand the fact that, these kinds of coaches and these kinds of experiences don't happen every day, and we should make the most of it. So I'm excited for this cup experience. I think that we have a very good chance, and I was happy to see Newcastle, Chelsea get matched up, so that means another big boy will be knocked out, and it just helps us maybe just add to our record stat of trying to bring a 10th League Cup to our
just get it. Whatever about Newcastle. I mean, you can take them eventually later, but I just say get Chelsea out of there. They're just a boring team for Liverpool to play against. They just shut up shop. It's the one game that they don't attack or they don't do anything, and they've kind of had a draw number for the last 4 or 5 games in a row now. 5 games.
Every final we've played them in, or something ridiculous.
Yeah, it's been a draw or something. So just let them go, and then we'll deal with everybody else.
I tell you what, though, lads, if the Geordies do knock out Chelsea, they deserve really to win the competition. But could you imagine they get us in the semi-final again, another big team, and you'd be like, I'll tell you what, lads, what a semi-final 2 legs that would be if we did play Newcastle. Hopefully we would avoid them. And is it Port Vale and Middlesbrough? One of them is getting into the semis, which is, if you're one of them teams, imagine if it's Port Vale, the money that would do for that football club would be tremendous.
It's Everton, Fulham, isn't it? And then Port Vale and Middlesbrough, and then on the other side you have us, West Ham. Yeah.
Chelsea and Newcastle, yeah.
That's
So,
Newcastle, yeah.
yeah, Jordan, drop in, mate. I think the link should be higher up in the chat, mate. You're very welcome. We will be rounding off in the next 5-10 minutes, mate, anyway. But we will be live tomorrow evening as well, so anyone's welcome. I hope we start doing that a lot more anyway. Everyone's welcome. I know everyone's very busy throughout the week, but that's what I wanted to do this season, especially in the next couple of weeks as well. Big up there, Henry, as well.
Henry.
How are we, matey? Hope you're well. Don't know why a cup is a cup. There's only so many you can play, and if you're lucky to be in them as well. But that's the modern day football snobbery, Kev, in football. Like we do as fans. Like gone are the days of the Shankly days of the 60s, 70s, and 80s, as under Bob as well, where we celebrated every single cup with the same gravitas, really, and the same weight, really, in all honesty.
It should be. Yeah, but I mean that's down to media, really. Like, isn't it? They're kind of pushing it off. They want to they'll big it up when it's happening, but they won't do it. Like the League Cup and the FA Cup are two prestigious trophies. The problem is they kept telling one is weaker than the other because the FA Cup was the original one, but that's because of the FA. You know, I mean, whereas the League Cup is based around the league itself. You know, so I would never declass a trophy like that. Probably the Community Shield, because I mean, it's not you know, any competition that doesn't have extra time is not a major trophy. So in case you want to know the difference, lads, between major trophies and minor trophies.
Not quite the Aldi Cup. Tottenham celebrate that like they won the Champions League.
It's and so at the time they didn't have much to win, so they get to celebrate it. You know, so yeah. My headset's about to go dead. Let me say.
No worries. Are you in, Jordan? Give us a thumbs up, mate, if you're ready to come in. If you can hear us. Hello. Yeah, all good. Hello, Jordan. How you doing, mate?
Hey guys. Hey.
Good to see you. Welcome. First time on the channel, mate. Thank you for hopping on as well. Thoughts on, as we were just saying, with West Ham? Are you happy with getting West Ham in the League Cup? How far do you anticipate Liverpool to go?
Yes, because they beat them early in the Prem. Now this time it's hard to go or go home. So we need to beat them, and I'm happy we're through indeed. But I really sorry for all my friends in that support Arsenal. But let's just look forward to win this Carabao Cup. Indeed, I'm buzzing. I'm looking forward to face who in the semi-finals of the Carabao Cup.
Yeah, happy days, mate. And a little one on Jordan on the Luton game. Are you excited for that game? Any players that you anticipate seeing on the weekends that you'd like to see in the starting 11?
Andrews 1000, former Crystal Palace player as well. So
he somehow gets a move, doesn't he? Like, is it Ross Barkley? Is it Luton as well? It's a bit of a mad one.
We got keepers.
I didn't even know that.
So we have Darwin Núñez, so we can get the job done. So the best for Salah and Darwin. So this is the first time I'm playing against this. We're playing against this team because I never know. I don't know this team, but 1000, I know 1000. And also the former Chelsea player, I don't know if he's still there. So as well. So
big up there, mate. Hopefully we do get the results, and as I said, we'll do a lot for us in terms of confidence for this new season as well. Anyway, but we'll quickly move on in terms of, we spoke about obviously West Ham getting them in the League Cup. And the final one would be this evening as well. Try to get all the lads' thoughts on this news. Well, Andre Trindade, obviously the Fluminense central defensive midfielder. Liverpool 12th man. Obviously, there's been a lot spoken about the Brazilian in recent weeks.
Yes.
I don't know if you've seen a lot of them, but we've got.
I have.
Are you excited for tomorrow? Obviously, the final Copa Libertadores final, which is if no one's aware of that competition, it's basically the Champions League of South America. Are you hoping that he does sign for Liverpool, and you think he'll settle right in with this Liverpool team? Come what January?
Yeah, absolutely. I wish him success in tomorrow's game, or in the game, I should say. I wish him not only success, but I hope that they win, because then, it'll be a chapter that he could, like, finally end with that team and feel comfortable moving on from. One of the main reasons why I say I'm so familiar with them is because as soon as we were really linked with him in the beginning, I started investigating, because I know we were in search. This is even before we ended up getting Endo or even going for Casado, I started looking into, okay, what's this player about? Especially since being in America, I do get to see a lot more of the South American games. So with that said, I do watch a lot of his games, or at least I try to watch as many as I can. And I've always thought of him as a talented player. He's not a destroyer, so that let's just make sure people understand that concept. Don't think that like we're getting
He's a passer,
something on those lines. But when it comes to his gameplay, it reminds me a lot of Thiago, who I did an episode or a piece on just Thiago and his counterparts who can actually play, because I honestly believe that Klopp has made a concerted effort to say that he's not looking for a destroyer to be his six. He's looking for a deep lying playmaker. He's looking for more of like a not necessarily a regista, but more so like a player that can do defensive measures if it's necessary, but is more offensive minded, more of a link man, more of a person that's going to be able to be a fellow quarterback, possibly in that if we do have Trent come up into that inverted role. And that's why I'm so high on Andre joining us, because he is a rebirth or a retread, I should say, of Thiago. And I believe that, like, who better to be on this team than Andre and Thiago together to continue to, like, for him to get anything he can from Thiago, for Thiago to give anything he can to actually helping us as well on the pitch, but also just the sheer fact that we'd have two components like that on this team. It's gonna be an enormous boost to our club.
Yeah, I'm excited, mate. Kev, Liverpool top man's just summarised probably best all of our thoughts on.
I've been saying it for a long time that Klopp is not looking for an out number 6. He's been looking for a guy that can play alongside Trent in a box formation. Somebody that can ideally come in and do that role and free up McAllister to move further forward, and also somebody that can back him up when they go forward as well, because he is more of a box to box in Andre, and he is more of he's a passer, he's an anchor, he's all of the above. He can still put in a tackle and he can still win the ball and probably do it better than even McAllister can. But he's
got that attitude as well, though. The gnarly attitude that we used to have with Javier Mascherano, which is you'd always need that in a team, bit of a bite, really.
Yeah.
He's a warrior by all accounts, in terms of all the clips I've seen, mate. But I'm excited.
Because I was looking at his stats there even a while ago. So his passes attempt, his passes completed is up in literally the top 7 percentile. So that's good. Like, progressive passes, same. He is a bit of a pass master in the way he does, but his tackles so you're looking. He's more, as I said, since he's not like more of a destroyer, he is more of an interceptor. So he reads the game a lot better, and which is why I class him as a box to box more than I would as a defensive midfielder that can pass. So because he can tackle as well as get in between the passages of play, and that's what we're kind of missing, really. Especially last season when balls were just flying past Fabinho and Henderson and even Thiago when he was in the side. So if you've got the gifted passing ratio of Thiago, with somebody who can intercept the ball, because I think actually Trent is a fairly good interceptor when he gets into position. So, but he just as long as he's not running up the right hand side and trying to tackle. So, I think if you put the two of them together, it's got a good, nice, hefty package there. So we'll take that. Yeah.
Yeah. So if you're in the UK, or lads, anyone on the stream as well, the game is tomorrow. I think it's live at 8 p.m. GMT UK time. And if you're in the UK, you can watch that on BBC 3. I don't know if that's on cable or it's on general telly. So check it out, chat, if you're not doing anything tomorrow evening. Might do a watch along as well. Actually, you know what? I might do a watch along. Might surprises. But Jordan, I'll let you do obviously the starting 11 for the weekend, mate, if you want. Press has just mentioned his starting 11. Alisson, Costas, Van Dijk, Canate, Trent, McAllister, Jones, Sabuzlai, Gakpo, Nunes, and Salah. Would you make any changes to that, Jordan, in relation to the team?
Somebody he forgot someone in that lineup. He forgot Trent.
Oh yeah,
So
Nice.
yeah, Trent's there.
forgot
That's all good.
I said Trent. You got Trent.
Yeah, yeah.
That's
Would
right
you
there.
would you make any changes for the weekend, mate? Who would you like
Well,
to see?
that's a great lineup because you got Nunes and Salah. Those are the best duo now in the Prem for us. And I like the lineup, but he forgot one or right back. That's a great lineup. No doubt. So no changes. If Jones red card is if
He's
he'll
back
be
now, yeah.
back for Sunday's game, there is no
Yes, he's
changes
ready.
in this one. So yeah, except Diaz. I know about his situation, but everything is here is okay. Except Trent you should have put Allison and Trent after.
Yeah, he's put it the wrong way, press, haven't you, lads? He's
Right,
spot on
right.
there, Jordan.
Mm.
Even he's got backwards. Tell you what, inverted. I don't know. But big up there, Jordan. I think we mentioned already. Go ahead, the 12th one.
I just wanted to ask you guys a question. On this is a panel question, and chat can chime in too. But I know before the cup game, when you saw Dom on the front line, what were your feelings? Were you excited? I was excited. I thought I was looking for big things. But
Yeah,
I mean, like I was looking possibly like maybe we're gonna get a hat trick out of him. I see he's on your right, but on our left over your shoulder. So I'm talking about you, Dom. But I mean, right there, yeah. But were you equally excited about that as well? Not seeing him in a forward role, like an actual forward role as opposed to the midfield role.
Yeah, on that one, mate, and let the lads answer as well and chat let us know. I was fuming for the first 20, 30
Oh,
minutes.
were you? Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
just mainly
Okay.
just due to the fact of he was playing absolute dog.
Oh, okay.
Like he was playing quite bad, wasn't he? But as we've been accustomed to, I think playing midfield as well. But he's one of them, and I think we've seen his quality already so far. I think every time he steps on the pitch, we expect the quality, and especially when we don't see it, mate. But Jordan, you want a quick word on Dominic
yes,
Szoboszlai?
Super Sly, yes. Well, he's a very good talented player. I watch him already back in the Bundesliga, come to the Prem. I know he bring that ability to the Premier League. He's very good, talented, scoring against Aston Villa, then Leicester. He's doing a very fantastic job. I think he will absolutely help us beat Man City when we meet them at the Etihad this month. So I'm looking forward for
Yeah.
him to help us slap up Arsenal and for us to win the league. And that's what he's here for us to do. So yeah, absolutely, I'm happy for them.
Yeah, I love it, Jordan. I love it that you've said we're winning the league this season. You're echoing the words of Dominic Szoboszlai. This is the confidence we need from all of us, really. Obviously, that's why rival fans hate us. We're all deluded. Yeah. Every single Liverpool fan's deluded. Kev, I'll get your thoughts on Szoboszlai. I'll just quickly wrap through these last couple of comments. I agree with the 12th man. I've had this suspicion for a while. Klopp is grooming McAllister for that 6 role. Not sure if I agree though. Rodri to me is pivotal for every title for Man City. Yeah, we'd love it if there was another Rodri out there, but sadly, big up there, Jordan. Massive thank you for popping in, mate. Good to popping in. You're very welcome to jump in, especially in the post-match shows as well, chat. Obviously, anyone's welcome. I will leave the links in there, but yeah, big up there, Matthias Scouse. Musso in Spain. Great show, gents. People are scared of us again at last. Big up there, Malia. Happy days, mate. To say that. Is that a guinea pig? Is your
it's a
profile
goat.
picture? Is it a goat?
Yeah, it's a goat. Yeah,
that's not messy. I was going to say, big up there, mate. Good to see it in the comments. Good to see a couple of people in as well. Is there only one real question for Sunday? Curtis or Gravenberch? I get the lads to comment on that as well in a little second. Gravenberch for me as well. Good night, Sal. Sorry there, Henry. Obviously, a massive thank you for jumping in. There was some technical issues, really. In terms of what I did see it in the studio in the background, but I was trying to add it in, but it wasn't
I
working.
was trying to click to it, it wouldn't work.
Yeah. I don't agree with the choices. Suppose that he's not a left winger as well. So
Interesting.
interesting.
I just wanted to say it's interesting too, and I'd love to. I want to hear Spiders take up here, but like the reason why I was so I guess empowered or just hyped to see him in the front line is one because we had a need for an obvious need with the circumstances, but it was interesting too because I've been saying this since Manchester United game last year when we beat them 7-0, and that is Klopp's also approach, whether it's Pep or whether it's Pep and Klopp together or whether whoever it is, their approach to this concept now is I call it an amoeba formation, whereas in players take on this total football concept where they play in roles that you don't normally see them playing, and it's not a rigid position where you have to play in that position. You can't rotate out, or you can't drift or play openly. And that's why when I saw Boz, when I saw the boss in that role, I was like, okay, this could be very interesting because I've seen him on the left, seen him on the right. You've seen his heat map. He's all over the pitch, and we know the guy can score and shoot. This is going to be as in having Nunez and Salah next to you,
Should be good. Yeah.
Here we go. That's what I thought. I thought
it was. I think the whole forward line thing from the start. It was more of a play from Clark. Yeah, no, I don't think he was actually literally in the forward. On paper, it looked like he was, because you would assume that Tsimikas was constantly going to be left back. But I think because he started with Gomez, Matip, and Kwanzaa in there, that's automatically you're shifting across back three, sitting there, and then you'd eventually Trent coming on to have a look at it. So he was testing things. He had Trent tested in the midfield when he came on. He had all of that. I think it was more like a 3-2-1-4, which is weird. So it's a strange one where Jones and him kind of had a free role and just left Salah and Nunez in those spots and just let them kind of drift back and forth, with Elliott kind of sneaking in between them as well at times. So I know, I get you. On paper, it looks, because it didn't work for him, because I think he even thought he was under the assumption of staying forward as well. So he wasn't that great for the first 20 minutes. But then when he started giving his role, and Klopp was like, "Oh no, stay back a bit, you." And then they were like, "Okay, yeah." And then you could see where the four was kind of kicking in, and then it just converted itself eventually into the 3-box-3. But you'd love to see him up there. But I think actually Dominic Szoboszlai would be wasted if he was up forward on the wing. Yeah, I think I'd prefer more of a left and right attacking midfielder role to a sitting. I'd prefer him kind of there. Even test him as a free flowing number 10. But I don't know. And the wings, I don't want to see him stuck out there. He can play there, obviously, but I wouldn't want to see him.
He can do anything, boys and ladies.
He can, legend.
He's an absolute good-looking fella as well. I tell you. You see, if you took him in to your girlfriend's bed anyway, but there you go, Tom. You can have that. Because he can do anything. He can do modelling. He can play football. Probably make a decent brew as well. And he's got an absolute rocket of a right foot, as we know. But I don't know if you've seen the YouTube videos, lads, on the panel and chat. If you haven't seen it, go and check it out. He was walking around the new Kirby complex with a dressing gown on, and like with a Liverpool bright red dressing gown on, and pretty sure those
I'm going to look that
gowns,
up right now.
Go and check it out. It's on Liverpool.
Sure.
It's on Liverpool's YouTube channel, so do that before you go to bed tonight. I would show it, but it's obviously copyright on here tonight.
Sure.
But yeah, and those dressing gowns probably cost a pretty penny as well. I'll tell you that now. It's bad enough trying to get a shirt or whatnot from Liverpool.
No.
But yeah,
that was very interesting. I just thought it was very interesting to hear. I want to hear your opinions because we've all. I thought that this guy behind my translucent shoulder here, I thought that Diaz has really picked up his game when it comes to his defensive measures. In that, before he was just all primarily a lot of offensive concepts, and now I think he's really just as well as Nunez. They both players have really taken on a true measure of what it takes to be a part of the counter press, how to properly present yourself in the counter press with spacing and being able to properly press with your, because it's not all about like just running at someone and chasing people. You have to actually like, take out angles, take away like different like channels and everything else.
Set
and
traps.
At the traps, exactly. And knowing and being able to switch positions and knowing how to like still, track and do all these different things. Nunez has learned to do that. So has Diaz has done that greatly. I think that's the difference in this game this year. And that's why I was very, very optimistic when I saw Boz on that side. Despite the fact he's not left wing, I get that. But the fact that his work rate is so phenomenal, and the fact that he's an amazing counter presser or just presser in general. And I mean, if we have our front line is, in my opinion, like where we live and die, in the sense of if we have a front line that can press properly, which we saw from Mane, from Bobby, from Salah, all three of them properly pressing together, we're unstoppable. Doesn't matter what you really had before because the ball's not really getting past that point. But I just wanted to make sure I got that point.
No, spot on.
I love
it. We will conclude in a little second, but I'll get the lads to shout out their socials or whatnot. Jordan, massive thank you for jumping on, mate. It's been great to have you on. Come back on again. I'll make sure you do, because I hope you've enjoyed it. And I'll probably you're welcome to jump on the post match on Sunday, or whatnot, any other shows for the matter. Have you got any socials that you want to shout out, any channels or whatnot?
Coming up, I'm gonna do a preview with a Luton Town fan for Sunday's clash. So my YouTube channel name is Jordan Hammond LFC. I do daily Liverpool content. I have rival fans from different clubs on my channels to discuss about their teams. So I'm on the road to 2K subscribers. So let's hit it this year.
Yeah, big up there, mate. I'll support you, all the lads on the channel and everyone in the comments. So I'll quickly the Jordan's channel link will be in the description as well. But I will promote it on my socials as well, Jordan. So we'll get those numbers up for you, mate. And massive thank you for taking the time out this evening to jump on the channel. Hope you've enjoyed it, and it's been great to have you on. And Jordan, we'll speak to you very soon, matey. Speak to you later, lad.
See you, Jordan.
See you later, lad. And obviously Liverpool, the 12th man as well, mate. First time on the channel. It's been an absolute pleasure, mate. Hope you've enjoyed it. And as I said, the open invitation for all the shows, mate. If you ever want to pop on and drop the link in, you're always welcome to pop on. And
it's great. It's great to see a few Americans understand football. It's brilliant. So it's great to have you on as well. You know what I mean?
Wow!
I know. There's a handful of you guys, man. I absolutely adore.
You could say that us Americans knew it back in the early parts of the World Cup when we beat you, but when we beat England.
I would know. I would know about that. I would know about that.
Kev hasn't been to a World Cup in
a few years.
You were in a World Cup? You got robbed by Henry.
We did get robbed by Henry. Yeah. We were in every single one of them up until then. I think so.
Big up, matey. Massive thank you for jumping on. Please do shout out your socials. What have you got coming up this week, mate?
Sure. So at Liverpool 12th Man, as it says, you can find me on Twitter, or now it's called X. The Reds 12th Man is what my title is on there, because Liverpool 12th Man, I guess, was too long. So, those are the primary things. You can just find me if you just put in Liverpool 12th Man. Chances are you'll find me, whether on Instagram, Twitter, on YouTube, some way or somehow you'll find me as the Liverpool 12th Man, because we're all the Liverpool 12th Man. I understand that, so that's why my name is what it is, because I believe we have a great community, great hosts, just like our hosts here, that represent
too kind.
It's the truth, though. You know what? I can be Simon when it comes to this. When it comes to being critical and being honest. And if it's truth, then I'll put it out there. And you guys have always, I've been on other panels with you, but you've always been like very nice, very cordial, and very open. And it's a way that I believe that Reds should be amongst each other, which is supportive, and inviting, and that's what I'm trying to project, and I'm trying to continue to build upon that as well in this community.
Were you on the Ends show before?
Yes, that's what
I think I was on a panel with you before. Yeah, I remember that. I was thinking, how do I know the name 12th Man? Except for in the comments, but instead I'm sure I was on a show with that dude. About 4 months ago or something. Yeah, if I remember rightly.
Yeah.
That's how it should be, mate. So, as I said, if you see me live stream, mate, you're very welcome to pop on the post match. I will drop the link in anyway, mate. But if I don't see you then, or if I don't see you tomorrow, have a lovely weekend,
Certainly,
mate.
you too, brother. See you.
Where will you be watching the game?
Okay, so I can give a shout out to my supporter pub. My supporter pub is the Crown Public House in Phoenix. So if anyone's in Arizona, I'm in Arizona now. I'm sometimes in Arizona, sometimes in California, but I'm in Arizona now. And if you're in Phoenix area, come by. Crown Public House is where we all congregate. It's usually like a nice packed house. 200-300 people show up all the time. So like, it's always a fun time to say the least. Just drinking and doing your thing and hanging out. And rooting on the Reds.
That's what it's all about, mate. But right, massive thank you, mate, for jumping on. I'll speak to you very soon. As I said, mate,
for sure.
You're always welcome to jump on, and you don't really need to ask. Just pop on, mate, and you're always welcome.
I appreciate that, brother. Sure.
Have a lovely evening, mate, and we'll speak soon.
You too.
See you later.
See you, dude.
There you go, then. I'll tell you what, great bunch of lads, weren't they? And
more of that, please.
Yeah, more of that. So if you are watching this evening, or you're watching on the repeat, and you don't even have to put your cam on if you're a bit camera shy and you just want to talk about the footy and the Reds. I'd like to do a lot more shows like that this evening.
I know. I'd always like somebody to have that cam on so that I can see if they're talking shit.
Oh yeah. you can put a picture to the voice anyway.
Yeah.
There we go. I think we've rattled off on the land as we spoke with the lads and chat as well.
We didn't do it starting 11.
I think Jordan
did, I suppose. Yeah.
Would it be whose comment was it? Press's comments. Would you make any changes to that?
If it was me, because it was Luton Town and I'd want to give more game time, I'd probably drop Simicast and throw Quans in there and just go 3-3.
It mentioned Gravenberch as well. Was it Matthias? Yeah. Gravenberch for me. Would you put him in?
You like to see him starting every game, but I think Klopp is going to start rotating guys pretty quickly. And Gravenberch played the last 2 in starting, and you're probably going to see Jones for this one because it's a lesser side, and plus Jones was immense against West Ham. I have to give him that. But also Gravenberch is different gravy. He didn't kind of really show up for the game really against Bournemouth. He was guilty of not giving, I think, a bit more respect to the opposition. So I think Klopp would be worried that the same would happen again on Sunday. It'll be an easy game for him, but he wouldn't be giving it his all. So I would 100%, start him if he could play to the peak that we've seen him in the last few weeks. But Jones has come on leaps and bounds in the last couple of years. He really has since last season. He's surprising me when I never thought. At the start, I thought, great confidence. This lad could probably go and do it all.
Him and Quansah have been tremendous.
Yeah, very good.
When we spoke about Quansah, as I said, not a big watcher, and probably that's quite wrong of me of the under-21s football, but he saved us, as we said, a couple of months ago, 6 months ago, when all of us were speaking, we done shows, Liverpool need to sign a centre-back, but this lad will save us 60 to 100 million if he stays fit and he continues to develop the way he is. So, and he's spot on about Curtis Jones, mate. He was, the back end of last year, Liverpool's best player of the season. Alisson and obviously Salah anyway, but Curtis, that obviously game against Leicester with that little double at the end of the year, but still only 22 years old. And
Spurs game as well, scoring a couple of goals. So like, the thing with Jones is that I don't like saying it, but I think that Liverpool know that they've got an easy outlet to go to there because he's a Scouser and he loves the club. So he'll take the drop back in games, whereas other people might complain a bit more, or step up a bit more, and they know that they can do that for a long time with him because he adores the club. But there's only a certain time that a player or a certain kind of treatment that a player can take in that kind of way. With being the lesser of the rotated players, I should say, our allowance, before they kind of turn around and say, oh, maybe I should look elsewhere. But no, he's a fantastic. He loves the club. He's brilliant so far. Yeah.
I was going to say there, like, it's a massive improvement on Milner. Like, you think about the loss of Milner. Obviously, we know the experience Milner offers, but I think Jones is a massive step up off the quality of a.
He's showing a few traits of him as well, because I think I think he's learned a lot from Milner himself in blocking the ball, because Milner used to give him a hard time. He used to say in training, you know, they used to look up to him like a dad type figure kind of thing, you know, within the squad, because Milner was the guy that gave out the fines. So
is he old enough to be his dad, or is he? No, actually,
What's Milner, 30?
I was Milner 37. No, Curtis is 22. Far from it.
15 now. Yeah, it could be. You know.
I was going to say, that's my shocking maths coming into play there, Chas. I for some reason I thought Milner was about 40, but yeah. But big up there, the 12th man. Big up everyone loving the channel and joining. You're very welcome, mate. Again, you and Jordan absolutely smashed it this evening. It was good to me and Kev made up to see you. But Kev and lads as well. Who we scoring? Who we scoring on this weekend? I like the Nuno shout for the hat trick. Darwin is a 1,900 to score a hat trick, by the way, on the sports book as well. Obviously, I don't know if that translates to American. Obviously, different betting odds, but I tell you what, that's a good little shout there. Kev, any closing thoughts for this evening, mate? Any shout outs as well? Are you streaming this evening?
I am streaming straight after this, actually, yeah. Over at Twitch at Irish Spider Guy. I'm finishing off. I'm coming to near the end of an absolutely brilliant game, I must say. I mean, I enjoyed the first one in Alan Wake.
Yeah.
In the first one, and that I did. It was kind of a change. It was a bit different from all the other horror games over at that time, but Alan Wake 2 has completely blown me away. It's already 30 times up on the original. But still, and I enjoyed the original. So yeah, it's a great game. It's well thought out. It's well done. I've enjoyed it immensely, and I'm finishing it off straight after this at Irish Spider Guy on Twitch. And I'll be doing a watch along for the Luton game on Monday. You'll find me on YouTube at Irish Spider Guy again. It'll just come up saying Spider, and you'll find me at.
Oh no.
I'm really joking. And you'll find me on Facebook at Spider LFC. But you'll find me here as well on YouTube at Spider LFC and TikTok at Spider LFC.
Yeah, Kev does dances as well. If you give him enough money, I think like all of us. Chat, it's been an absolute pleasure, Kev. It's been a pleasure. The Bootramp man and Jordan popping in. Henry, as I said, midway through the stream, apologies. Obviously, we're having some technical issues. Definitely jump on the post-match, Henry. You're very welcome to on that one. So with R4 kickoff or 4 o'clock kickoff, so probably be a post-match around about 6-ish UK time, GMT. But Kev, been a pleasure. Chat, enjoy your Friday evening. If you're going out, behave, enjoy it, because you deserve it anyway. And try and not get a difficult hangover or whatnot. And enjoy it. And,
I'm off the drink. Not happening.
Yeah, chat. So, chat, have a lovely rest of the evening, and we will see you tomorrow evening. I'm going to do a watch along for the Andre Tindade, the player that we will sign anyway. So, that'll be on the channel tomorrow. So, if you don't get notifications, we'll be live for that game. But, Kev, lads, ladies as well, lads on the panel this evening, massive thank you for tuning in. As always, hit that subscribe button on the way out as well. If you haven't already done so, smash that like button. Really just help out the YouTube.
I'll let the door hit you.
Yeah, whack as well. Hopefully that's what Nunes does on the weekend. Whacks it in something. And as you can tell, my face has already been whacked by a load of doors. Not improves this.
His mum doesn't say that about him, though.
Yeah, everyone's mum says that about their sons.
You look.
Bye.